Top three things I have learned as an young entrepreneur in business for 1.5 years. Okay, you might think it is a lot less of time, but in grand scale, it is less of time, but in the short scale, it is a lot of time. So, the first thing I have learned is it depends on your business. First of all, you need to realize that it depends on your business of how your business is going. Suppose you have a business where you directly talk to your customers, so you need to develop a relationship with them. Go an extra mile. Suppose someone says, I need this done, get this done, and a little bit of more done. Okay, so go extra mile and try becoming their work friends. So you don't need to become their friends, but work friends. The work friends is the term. Like, people overcomplicate this. You need to keep a thin line with that. You need to realize, like, that person might not be your friend 90% of the time. 99% of the time that person will might not be your friend. He might be talking to you in a very amazing way, a very good way. He is like putting please, this and that, everything. You think he's your friend, but you need to realize from his angle, he's just a little humble. He's not your friend. Okay, you need to realize that. You need to keep a thin line. You need no you just you don't need to be like, yeah, give me work, yeah, done work, send money day. You need to be a little here but not here. Did you realize that? That's the first advice. Okay, the second advice is a big advice. Okay, this will take some minutes. So the second advice is the business you get into, it is more important than what you are doing. So let's just say, people say you could businesses don't fail, people fail. That is partially true, but realize one thing, like, everybody is not an anomaly. Everybody can't make everything work. You need to realize that as soon as you can. You need to realize your good traits and your bad traits, or your good habits or your good abilities or bad abilities, too quickly. Okay, let's just say you are a guitarist. The problem with that business, okay, you are a guitar shop seller, or you get into this kind of business, like you're selling something, and that is very like, it is like only top 1% makes the money. Like in MMA, the fighter, the top fighter makes all the money, and the lower fighter doesn't make as much money as compared to the top fighter. You need to get into a business where even an average person makes a lot of money. Okay, and then you need to strive to become the best, but get into an industry where an average person makes more money. You know why? Many people say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but they can't last for 10 years. Let's just say you get into a business and it takes 10 years to become number one, and it might take 10 years. Come on, dude. You are talking about getting into a business industry, and in 10 years you're going to be top one. That's quick. Okay, that's quick. If you realize that, that's quick. Okay, so you need to realize one thing and one thing only. Like, you become 10, you work, put in 10 years, and you become that person. But if you put that 10 years into something else, you will become better person. I think you haven't understand me. Let's just say you won't have the ability to put 10 years in the first business. Let's just say the guitarist example. Okay, let's just say you are selling guitar and this and that. Okay, you need to study how an average guitar shop makes, and you need to realize you can't stay in that for 10 years, because you will quit at 2, 3, 4. And it is not about discipline. Okay, you could stay in that if it is your passion, but most people just want to make money. They don't care about what what the business is. Okay, so you need to get into, let's just say that, as the Warren Buffett said, that the boat you are rowing is more important how hard you are rowing. If you are in sand and you are rowing your boat, it will get you hardly nowhere, even if you row it very hard. And if you are in an ocean, you might just row it hard. And especially if you are in current going this and you row at that, you just need to push one time and you will get very far. You need to realize what that thing. Okay, so that is the second point, is choose your business very, very, very carefully. At the first time it might not be the best business, but I see so many advices from entrepreneurs like, if somebody made 10K in that industry, you could do it too. Yeah, you could do it too if you are an experienced entrepreneur, or you want to put in that much work. Life isn't about working the most hardest. It is about you put in this much work, you get this much output. Or do you want to reverse that? You put this much work, this much output. I don't think anybody wants that. You might be a maniac and wants that. Okay, I'm talking about to the general public, and sometimes you want that when your life is going very amazing. Okay, so the third one and the last one will be focusing on little things in your business. Many people just focus on sales, they don't focus on churn, small aspects on your business that is killing your business silently. Okay, you need to realize that thing. I analyzed a guy's school program, and he's selling his school program, and his churn rate was, let me tell you, you will be amazed. Like, his subscription was monthly, and I think it was $99. It was 197 to join. No, it was 500 the first time I saw it. Then it went to 197 first time fees to join it, and then it went to $99 a month. And throughout his process, like, even if it dropped the price, you know how much his churn was. The first time it was 24, second time it was 32, and the fourth time it was 42. Realize that, like, let's just say he has a big audience, he had a very big audience, he is pulling so much attention from there and so many new students, but he can't always keep that going. Do you realize that? Like, even if he brings out 50% more people every month, he just gets an 8% increment. Okay, when his sales, okay, it is called a sales debt or a members debt. Like, when the sales coming in are not greater than the people going out, the churn. Okay, he got, literally, when he started focusing on that first. Okay, he saw that his churn was going out, but he was like, I'm gonna make more sales, I'm gonna just make thousand of sales. But in reality, you can't always make thousand of sales. It is life, it is not a gambling addition. Like, you just gamble and just start working, and you might pull off a magic and you never have to work again. It is life, it is all systems and these things. So he reduced his churn to 42 to around 27.5. Okay, he reduced his churn from that, and that made him so much money. He was losing on so much money by doing that. He should have focused earlier on that. Okay, and I'm talking about big figures here, like 2000 students. Just multiply 99 with 2000 students. Okay, you need to realize only one thing in life. Like, focus on little things, they might be killing your growth. Okay, so it could be your example for the home, like some things is killing your growth, you're doing that, avoid it. See you in the next video.